happy to have Brenda Hollingsworth on with us, a personal injury lawyer, talking about collisions and the nice weather, something that you might not think go hand in hand, but they can, and we'll talk about that. Live phone calls on the air, or you can email us, ottawa.morning@ctv.ca, Facebook, CTV Ottawa Morning Live. Brenda, as we head into nice sunny days, now I don't know that anyone's ever admitted to this, but I think that this may happen. It's a nice day, perhaps it's a guy in a car, and a little bit of distraction on the side of the road. It's like, oh, she's good looking, boom, anything like that as you head into the nicer weather can really happen, I think.
Yeah, maybe for men.
Yeah, maybe, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to the serious topic here. We were talking about left turns, but all sorts of things happen on the roads. We know this, and you really need to be a defensive driver looking for other people making mistakes just to protect yourself. But if you couldn't avoid it, some of the real concerns above and beyond those who are in vehicles who can be hurt bad enough already, pedestrians, cyclists, and motorcyclists we touched on.
Yeah, so these are the most vulnerable groups that we typically see in our office. And for cyclists and pedestrians, the route to take after an accident is often confusing.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so if you're in a car accident, even if you're not at fault, you're calling your insurance company because your car's probably damaged and there's stuff that's going to trigger. So you are going to be put on that treadmill towards accident benefits and all of that. But what if you're a pedestrian or a cyclist or a passenger even in a car, and you're not calling your car insurance, so how do you know what to do? It's important to remember that you're entitled to accident benefits.
Okay.
Even if you weren't driving a car, even if your car was parked in a driveway.
Is that driver's insured?
Yeah, that's right. And even if you don't own a car, there are accident benefits, so no-fault benefits for your rehab, for your income replacement. And it's really important to activate those right away.
Yeah, and there's something that happens out there, and I wanted to ask you specifically about it. Dooring is what it's called.
Oh, yeah.
This is really horrible, and we've seen it not infrequently in Ottawa. This is when a cyclist is riding along, usually in a bike lane, frankly, and someone goes ahead without looking in their mirror, opens the door like they're going to get out, and boom, that cyclist hits the door, sometimes with fatal results, but almost always with some sort of injury.
Yeah, no, that's right. I mean, we did have that fatality a couple of years ago. The lady, I think it was on Queen Street, and that's terrible.
Into the traffic.
Yeah, so that's terrible. But we see a lot of dooring accidents where broken collarbones, shattered arms, broken faces, because you go over your handlebars when that happens. So that's a really great reminder. If you haven't been checking, because of course there are no bikes in February in Ottawa, so you think, now is the time to start. Just remember, before you open that door into the roadway, have a look. Very good tip.
Interesting too, I saw a collision that was quite troubling between a cyclist and a vehicle. The cyclist had his advanced left-hand turn green, and the person in the vehicle was making a right turn. So they turned almost simultaneously, and then the vehicle, after his right turn, and this is the cyclist, made the left turn, the vehicle changed lanes immediately into the cyclist. Luckily, the cyclist seemed unharmed. This is something we should talk about too. But he ran over the front wheel, he came off his bike, and the car kept driving. And people walked immediately up to the cyclist, said, I saw what happened, and this and that. From there on, so everybody came in, willing to give an account of what happened.
Right.
Don't take for granted that you're okay, right?
Oh, absolutely, right?
So you feel fine, and you're like, okay, I'm okay.
You've got so much adrenaline, and especially if you fall off a bike or you're a pedestrian, you're on the ground, there's that embarrassed instinct. So people sort of bounce up because they're embarrassed, or because they realize they're on the ground in the road, and so Mother Nature takes over to get you off the road.
Fight or flight immediately.
Yeah, so don't assume, because that adrenaline might take you for 24 hours.
Okay.
So pay attention to your symptoms, and if you feel something in the first 24, 48, 72 hours, go to the doctor, go to the hospital.
We're actually going to talk about the steps to take right after that situation, or any situation that you're in a collision, with Brenda Hollingsworth from OJ Hollingsworth. Live phone calls on the air. We'll take those emails too, or even on Facebook. So you have your chance to ask the expert as we continue next.